you guys never open, I mean, they're not going to. I mean, you can't physically hear they're pointed this way if your ceremony's over there. Okay, something. If you told me an hour ago you can't do it, I'd be like, fine. You know, you said it was the last minute. But I'm asking about ceremonies and this is on Thursday. And are we using these? No. No, on the West Coast. Oh, it's the same rules, right? Show says it is.
It depends, because over there, south, I don't know how big.
Yeah, Joel wanted to let me use the dial over there. He does it himself. He says, I'll decide how to do it.
Well, you see, here, I live because you don't have that. I don't mind, just go over there, all I know is neighbor. They are, the sushi can go around.
I will DJ the wedding standing on the head. I was asking, what wedding did you ask? Just give me a bonus song in the middle. Because I've been doing that for years.
I know that.
And then ceremony, I've been bringing the speaker out for years. If we're doing this now, we're going to have to, because I don't know how the sound's going to make a U-turn.
Until I know, sir. Until I know. But I
Still would know.
Brett was talking.
I don't want to ask him now, because I want to ask him. He was angry.
No, when I mean, if you get work, you get work from work.
No, I'm not West.
Oh, you can work in
I want to know what, but I'm back. I got ceremonies here.
Yeah, for the ceremony, to me, that like here, is, like I said, it's no hate.
Ceremony needs to be done.
Right. It makes sense to me. For me, so, because this, I don't understand that. But anyway, I gotta invite him.
He seemed angry. I just. Yeah, whatever, man. It's all good.
Just a heads up, we got a live mic. Just a heads up, that's a live mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, we want to welcome one and all into the Grand View. Your cocktail hour is wrapping up. Your reception is starting in moments. If you could kindly make your way to the main ballroom, find your tables so the servers and staff can confirm your dinner orders, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see over here.
Put a roll table?
I'm happy with everything here tonight. I don't know.
I'm gonna be moving the last
Can I get the, let me know, you just haven't pulled the arugula because I have an allergy?
Arugula allergy?
Yeah.
How's the filet cut?
And hold the squash too, I'm sorry.
No squash?
No squash, no arugula.
Okay.
Medium rare. I don't think I'll be here for dessert. Okay.
Brad, is anybody else with you? Is anybody else with you guys?
It's a little dark.
just came over and made me move. They've been there for like 3 hours. He's like, oh, he's got to move. Like, tell me 3 hours ago. I had the speaker up. He's like, no, you got to take that down. That was up for an hour. You know, I mean, like on and on and on. Like, keeps making me do stuff at the last minute. He's just messing with me. I don't know why. Maybe he wants money. I'm not sure. It's annoying. Suddenly tonight they're acting like jerks. I don't know. Maybe they're having a bad day.
So yeah.
Let's make the first thing we set up.
Wow, we're actually hitting good bit rate. We're gonna come out from the back and he's gonna put his camera there. Alright, they told me back there.
Oh, that's different. I have DJ'd hundreds of weddings here. Always never come to my house. But
That was a week ago.
yeah, they may be doing different tonight.
I was told that was one thing that I saw a week ago was they were coming here.
Yeah, we're definitely going to speakers up there.
Yes, I mean I'm gonna get spot regardless.
Have you heard this about, like, I've heard people go to hotels and, like, them not being able to get the rooms ready in time? Yeah, it's literally everything.
Before when I'm going, when I'm hiring.
Yeah. Right.
Now if they show up to the interview, they're basically hired. I hired a girl the other day. Literally showed up to the interview in my pants, a dirty, torn Brooklyn sweatshirt, and a baseball hat.
It's crazy. But yes, I don't know, we got in okay, and we got it, our room was all clean, so it was fine. We got no complaints, but, you know, having trouble keeping up.
I am hiring as quickly as they quit.
Why are they quitting? Where are they going?
They'll get 50 cents for a dollar. Watch, this is the first. Usually wherever I see a place.
Yeah, these were not
Did everyone get the Lee and Amy mints? I got Lee and Amy. Jordan Yogi. You have the Jordan Yogi. Jordan Yogi.
losing light by the second.
What's that now?
Losing sun by the second. It's not good.
Oh yeah, no.
Turned into alcohol.
Hey, Beethoven.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
So what do you want to do to the schedule now? Just change the schedule.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, welcome one and all, Fiona and Phelan's wedding! My honor and privilege to introduce some very special people to you. We'll begin tonight with John and Gerard Hanrahan. McCormack. ladies and gentlemen. If everybody could please rise, please rise. My honor and privilege to welcome into the room, Mr. and Mrs. McCormack. One more time, let's give Fiona and Phelan a big round of applause. Congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, their first dance, There Will Be Time.
Esto mi alma mi guardián wa andan holding me leading me on now when we live cold I live to love and adore you. It's all that I have, it's all that I have. Cold I live, I always saw you. It's all that I have, it's all that I have. Looking at
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's come on out and warm up this dance floor. What do you say? Take your seats. As we'd like to honor a little bit of a wedding tradition here, we've got some folks who'd like to share a moment out on the dance floor with Fiona and with Phelan, respectively. We'd like to start by inviting Fiona and Gerard out to the dance floor, please.
constantly calling each other.
Once again, we're going to invite Fiona and her dad, Gerard, out to the dance floor, please. And the song they've chosen is a very special version of a song I do believe you know. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause, please. Outstanding. And now, Phelan, if you'd be kind enough to meet your mother, Winnie, out on the dance floor, please. And the song they've chosen is The Only Child.
Boy of mine, as your fortune comes to carry you down the line, and you watch while the changes unfold, and you sort among the stories you told. If some pieces of the picture are hard to find, your questions are hard to hold. Take good care of your mother. When you're making up your mind, so one thing or another take you from behind. The world may make you hard and wild and determine how your life is styled. When you come to feel that you're the only child, take good care of your brother. Let the disappointments pass. Let the laughter fill your glass. Let your illusions last until they shatter. Whatever you might hope to find among the thoughts that crowd your mind, there won't be many that ever really matter. But take good care of your mother, and remember to be kind. When the pain of another will serve you to be mine. And there are those who feel themselves exiled, on whom the fortune never smiled, and upon whose lives the heartache has been piled. They're just looking for another lonely child.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause. And friends and family, once again, welcome. Your blessing and first course are on the way in moments. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, your blessing and toasts are coming up momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, as you return to your seats, our blessing and toast coming up momentarily, I do want to welcome you on behalf of the Grandview, your host Brent, your maitre d' Victor. I want to thank our good friends from Daydream Photo Studio for being here tonight to capture all the images. We have a live stream going tonight, courtesy of WillJacobson.com. Thank you so much for helping everybody who couldn't be here tonight to be here. We want to thank Lucille's Floral for the beautiful decor, and on behalf of myself, DJ Bride from Spinning with Style, I want to welcome each and every one of you. We have your blessing and toast coming up now. We're going to be doing those right up here at the head table, so direct your attention up here, and we'll ask Edward to come up first. I believe he's right over here. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause, please.
Event like this, we have, first of all, I should say that I'm the second Phelan. I don't think there's any other Phelans except the groom and myself in the room right now. On an occasion like this, for a prayer before such an important event, there are several traditions that I think are applicable. And I'm going to mention 3 or 4 of them. And after each one, I'd like to ask you to say amen. But I want you to say it with a little more spirit than we had in church. You've been fed already, hors d'oeuvres at least, and you've had refreshments. So we need a little more of an amen when we get there. All right. So first, this prayer continues what we participated in this afternoon in church, where we're reminded of the words of Jesus at his Last Supper, where he blessed and he thanked God as creator and caregiver. Scholars say that at weddings, Jesus, used the phrase popular at the time. He said, "Blessed are you, O Lord, our God, King of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth." And we all say, Amen! You guys are doing really well. And so, in the second tradition, down through the years, people from Wales focused on God's oneness and blessing the couple with poems like 2 hearts, 1 wish, 2 tongues, 1 language, 2 ropes that join connected, 2 souls, but 1 journey. And we all say, Amen! Okay, even better. And in the In the third tradition, down through the same years, people in Ireland focused on God's creation and blessing the couple with, "May the wind be always at your back. May the warm rays of the sun fall upon your home. May love and laughter light your days and warm your heart. And may your troubles be few and your blessings many." And we will say, So Fiona and Phelan, may you embrace and grow these fine traditions at your table in the years ahead. Amen.
Absolutely outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some speeches and toasts for you tonight, and we're going to start with Gerard. Let's welcome him up. Big round of applause, please.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for coming and sharing a special occasion with us. And via Zoom, virtually, all our family in Wales and Ireland. And thank you for having a good gala over there tonight, like 50 people. you know, and a few more bridesmaids that didn't make it here, but they're beautiful. I love them, So, first I'd like to thank McCormack. There you go. Great to know you, and look forward to many holidays. Fiona, she's my only daughter, and she looks up to you. Like a film star from the 40s. And the only time I seen you look more beautiful, that was the first time you saw you. Fiona is just fun, you know, like, she just brings joy and fun with it. It's contagious, and she has us doing stuff we never do with the way we do this, that, and the other, and we always want to fight doing it, but it's always a great time, and Fiona's, she's a giver, you know, her whole life, looking after her brothers and cousins and everyone. She just got a big heart, and Phelan, I welcome you to the band, and how could I not love you the way you make my daughter so happy to love and give to her, and you two really compliment each other. They're like two swans you see in the lake, you know. They're nice and calm, but they're grafters, man. They're paddling underneath the water. That's the truth, you know. Anything that looks easy, you know, it isn't. And these two are grafters. They work their fingers to the bone, and did a sensational job tonight. And they had a lot of adversity with the pandemic, and so happy to be home in Connecticut still. They worked in Boston for a few years, and you know, I wish you guys only love, you know, and you know, you get married in the Our Lady of the Rosary, and the Rosary is powerful. I know you both love God, and you know, advice I give you is to bring with you wherever you go, invite him into your house every day in your heart, and you know, you pray together, you stay together, you know, and if you're with God, you can be together. But I see the future, and I swear, I don't know what I see a Norman Rockwell photograph, right? With like kids coming out of the ceiling. That was like a sweater dress on, around corduroys, and Fiona there with a big apron on, and I swear, that's what I see. You know, you're on your way. Like it says over there, it's the first chapter of the book that was never written, and that's beautiful, and that's a mystery too. We're not sure if we donated it, who gave it to them, so we're going to be dusting the prince later. Fingers off of it. Unless you're a guilty party. But, you know, I wish you, raise you guys for a toast, please, and I wish you only love. I wish you the summer's always full. Your heart's always full. And never forget to stay in your heart and love all the world.
That's right, big round of applause for Gerard, please. And friends and family, we've got a few more folks who are going to speak in just a bit. But first, your first course is coming out in moments. Once again, Fiona and Phelan, congratulations.
I haven't cleaned my ears out. It's fun.
Well, I worry my hearing is as bad as it is. I'm worried putting something that far in there. So kind of like having it a little further away.
I've been crazy about it. I'm a huge music fan, live music, so I'm always like getting earplugs in and trying to save my hearing. Oh, absolutely. You just gotta get the right one.
Maybe we clear a table. In my mind, even if I didn't have that number, I'd be thinking that it was like tables. You know, make it clear. And then you figure out where the next thing is. So you can do some purposes. You know, like months.
My shots. It's an easy thing to understand where the cameras are. I try my best, but I need a better telephone to clear that. So I'm limited by I need to spend myself. I'm in the funeral business primarily, so I'm not as yeah. It's been a huge thing going on. It's mostly international now. Like we've gone back to things, but in the beginning it was grandma's down the street and she's not gonna leave the house, but not in its entirety.
have a table over here. Your salad is yours arugula, yours is spinach.
Alright.
And no butter, let's go.
That's alright. Thank you. I can't have, you can clear. I'm allergic to vegetables. So.
Where's the vegetables?
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize I didn't give you enough info. I'm sorry. But don't worry. I'm I can eat around. Don't worry.
Sure?
Yep. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much.
Went to go get
Ladies and gentlemen, we do hope you enjoyed your first course here tonight at the Grandview. Before we reopen our dance floor, we've got a few more toasts for you. Those will be coming up in just a second. I'll give everybody a chance to make their way to their tables. All right, ladies and gentlemen, kick things off. We're going to invite Siobhan up to say a few words. Let's welcome her. A big round of applause, please.
Hello, I'm Sean. I'm Fiona's maid of honor. I am very excited to be here tonight and honored to be Fiona's maid of honor. We've all been waiting for this day for so long, and I'm so happy it's finally here. Naturally, when Fiona asked me to be her maid of honor and asked the whole bridal party, she did it in a typical Fiona way, where it was over the top and beautiful and amazing. And we've been happy to be with her here every step of the way, because there's nobody better in this world than Fiona. I also have something to say about Phelan. When Fiona told us that she had a boyfriend and it was getting serious, I speak for the whole bridal party, family, and friend group when I say we were concerned. Because we just thought, is there anyone in this world good enough for Fiona? Like, will he reach our very high standards we have for our Princess Fiona? He did. I'm happy to say he did. I am not an easy person to please. I don't know if you know, but I'm not the easiest to please. And it's even harder to please me when it comes to Fiona, someone who I just think deserves everything. And I like him. Like, I'm happy. I like them together. I think I can't picture somebody who would be better for Fiona or more suited to be with Fiona and make her so happy. Welcome to the family, Phelan. Best of luck. We are very happy to have you here, and I love you both so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to invite Will up to the microphone, please.
Everybody, I'm Will, the best man. I'm Phelan's younger brother. And I have a few things I want to say. It's a little bit of a free-form dialogue, so we'll wrap it up eventually. I think I have a little extra time. So first of all, a lot of people might have noticed that Phelan is a tremendously driven, determined, motivated person. And I just think that I can provide a little bit of insight into what I see as, his reason for that. What actually drives him. And I think that deep down, it's the fact that he thinks that he can do a better job than anybody else. I think he looks around him and he looks at the world around us and he says, "What are they doing over there? This is a mess." And he wants to get into those positions, make those decisions, so that he can have a positive impact on the world. So I think that that's essential to conceptualizing, his personality. A good example of that was back at Don Bosco, in U.S. history, with Mr. Costello. He was a substitute teacher. He's been teaching a long time, a great guy, but basically the test he was giving turned out to be, from probably a book from like the 70s or the 80s, and there were answer keys online. So of course, the word got around that, if you Googled certain things, you could find the answer keys and ace the tests. So Phelan obviously read about this being in the class, but he didn't do it. He refused to do it. And instead what he did was he studied his ass off and aced the test, got 100, and then went up, to some of the people that we knew had been spreading around the answer keys, and he said, guess what? I got 100 too, but I did it honest. And I think that is, a part of Phelan's personality that doesn't always come out to everyone, but it's a sense of fairness and, deserving your achievements. And I think that, he obviously deserves everything that he's achieved so far. That being said, he is very determined, he is very motivated, but at the end of the day, he's only human, as hard as it may be to believe. I think a lot of us, you only see him at his best, because he always puts his best foot forward, and it's very impressive that he's able to do that. But I think growing up with him, knowing him as a child, I was able to see some of those moments where maybe he questioned or he got discouraged, can't even imagine, really. But there was one time when Phelan, a couple of years after he graduated college, he was working at Oppenheimer, and he came home for the weekend. And, and he was working like 90-hour weeks, still, of course, trying to keep up his running schedule, for whatever reason. And of course, every time that me and Phelan get to talking, somehow it gets the most philosophical and profound discussions. We like to challenge each other. But I've noticed that weekend, he just had a deep-seated tiredness. He was exhausted. And he wasn't as sharp and vivacious as he typically is. And that was actually just a few months before he met Fiona. And I'm happy to say that since then, I can't remember a time where I've seen him that drained. And it took me a while to realize, to put the pieces together. But what I realized was that, when he met Fiona, it was like a renewed lease on life. He gained a renewed motivation, and he just has continued to move upward and onward since then. So I think that Fiona is sort of like, if you've ever had your phone charger. Now they have these fast chargers, right? It's like he can spend 30 minutes with Fiona and he's back to 100%. So last night at the rehearsal dinner, there was a bit of a common theme between a lot of speeches, talking about how Fiona and Phelan have very complementary personalities, right? And a lot of people were talking about what I was just talking about with, his determination, his drivenness, and Fiona's compassion and warmth and kindness kind of tempering that. And I think that's very true. And I think that that's a great part about their relationship. But I also wanted to take a little bit of a different tact and talk about the ways they're a little more similar than they seem at first glance. So Phelan, one of the things about Phelan is that he's constantly analyzing things, right? Especially like things that he's done, right? So, for instance, he has a standing desk now in his house, and it's like the amount of thought that he has put in to like the height at which the desk will be, all the different various situations in which he'll be working, in order to optimally, be the most productive, is mind-boggling. And that's a great trait that he has, and it helps him to achieve great things. However, sometimes it can get a little overboard, right? He can overanalyze and, just go too far with it. So I think that's where Fiona comes in. And the thing about her is that, I think Jackson said it very well last night, which is that underneath that, warm, inviting personality, there's steel. Right? She can get along with a lot of different types of people, but she has a very, very strong sense of what is right and what is wrong, and more importantly, she's brave enough to stand up for that at the time when it matters. And I think that when Phelan tends to go overboard and tends to overanalyze things, she has an amazing ability to bring him back to reality and say, look at everything that you have in your life and be satisfied with it. And I think that is really essential. Having spent a lot of time with Phelan, he needs someone to say that to him at times. And I think that Fiona has a great ability to do that. A word that has been used to describe my mother at times, and I think is a very, very high compliment, is Fiona's plucky. She is brave in the face of any odds, because she knows what is right. The other thing about her, and well, I should start with Phelan actually, is Phelan, he can sweep you up in a zeitgeist, right? He has a certain hype, and some of my cousins will know about this. There was one time we were at the ice cream place in Block Island, and he just starts. So we always ate vanilla ice cream, and we always kind of took some shots for it, like wanting to try anything else. So one day he just decides, someone asked him, what are you ordering? And he just decides to make up on the spot, golden pistachio, right? Completely made up. But then he sweeps up like half of the people at the table. I wasn't buying it because I've been there, seen that. But he sweeps people up, and you can get caught up in his, for lack of a better word, BS. But the thing about Fiona is she does not tolerate BS, and she is a very sensitive reader, and especially with Phelan, now that they've spent so much time together, and she's not hesitant to shoot him that glance or call him out when he kind of gets ahead of himself. And having done that for 20-something years, I'm just so thankful that you take that burden off of me. That's about all I have to say. I'm so happy. I think that these two are the perfect couple, and I hope that they continue to make each other better and continue to improve the world around them.
And for our last toast tonight, we'd like to welcome Joe up to the microphone, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was fantastic. That was great, what you said right at the beginning. And Svan, where are you? Loved it. And I'm going to try to wrap up. So I'm going to try to go quicker than I would usually go. Today, when you're in the church and you saw her walk down the aisle, right? Did you have like a moment or a feeling of that this was just destined to happen? That this was each of their destiny? Seeing him stand up there, watching her walk down, it struck me as it's going to be one of the favorite moments of my whole life, and I enjoyed it. But the thing is that when you stood there at that time, you kind of thought, well, this had to happen, but nothing has to happen, right? And as parents, especially when you're concerned about your children's happiness, there's nothing that has to happen. It's all a road that has to be traveled, and it has ups and downs, and ins and outs, and difficult hills, and lush valleys sometimes. And so it's not always that easy. I'm going to talk about Phelan too, because I'm his dad. And so I'll start with when I first met Fiona, right? And the way I first met Fiona, Winnie and I first met Fiona, was he was in his New York City mode. He was at his job after college. He's in his apartment in Manhattan. He's making his own money, so he has absolutely no need for parents, right? Parents are now superfluous, so we're getting no info, we're getting no in-feed. This is about May or June, and Winnie and I are starting to think to ourselves, something's going on. Like Will said, he's awful happy. Talking to him has gotten a little bit easier on the phone. Something's going on here, but he's not giving it up, but we're his parents, and so we start thinking, something's going on. We're not getting a name, right? Winnie, we didn't get a name. And he slips out that I'm taking the girl to my favorite Broadway show. right? Which was, I think it was Les Mis, right? I'm going to get these great seats. I'm taking the girl to the Broadway show, and he slips out with the date, right? And so, being parents that stay back, we kind of stay in the background. We don't overanalyze our children or try to get involved in their lives too closely. I bought 2 tickets, right? Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, I got 2 tickets, so we're going to see Les Mis. I get like a pause. Where are your seats? I go, we're in the balcony. He goes, yeah, we're in the orchestra. Good luck with that. I'm really busy, you know that. We'll probably only get to the theater within minutes of the curtain, so we won't see you then. And we have things to do afterwards, so I'm not sure you'll get us to see us. We might say hello for a minute. That's what I got. Remember, right? So we had after the show, so Winnie and I walk into our balcony, and I come into the thing, and as Winnie starts to go into the seat, we're like second row of the balcony, I look down into the orchestra, and there is this just stunningly beautiful woman standing in the aisle by the 3rd row. All the ushers, nobody's getting sat in the theater, they're all talking to her. I would have said, like today, she was just so beautiful in that church, wasn't she? Just so beautiful. And so that Fiona back then, this Fiona was unbelievably beautiful, but it was on the same train car, right? This was a very pretty girl down at the whole theater's looking at her, and I'm like, and then I notice there's a guy next to her who's very handsome, standing there, and he looks like he matches. Like he looks like he should be standing there. I'm like, oh, that's Phelan. As Winnie in my ear says, oh my God, she's so beautiful. We're driving home, we go to dinner, we stayed out way too late. We were out really, really late, and Winnie and I are driving up to Palisades Parkway, and Winnie is just talking. She's so nice. She's so sweet. And she's smart. She's smart. She's not gonna fall for his stuff. I can tell she's smart. She's not over liking him, Joe. She's not over liking him. That's what she's telling me. She goes, don't get me wrong, I think she likes him. But she's not falling for that stuff. She's independent, and she'll put him to the good for her. Good for her. I like her. And I'm thinking, the train's in the station, buddy. Are you gonna get on? I'm thinking to myself, she's wonderful. But I never know, right? Nobody ever knows. So I'm watching carefully. And about a couple months later, they're dating. We learned her name was Fiona that night. We get to see her once in a while. We just think she's wonderful and so good for him, so calming. And we're driving in the car. We're leaving the city for something. We're on the Palisades Parkway again, and Winnie's car has the kind of phone thing that it goes on the speakers in the car. It's like a Tuesday night, like 7:30, and she says, I'm gonna call Phelan, just see how he's doing. And we call him, and he answers the phone. Yeah, hello, how you doing? I'm really busy. Can't talk. Which is pretty much, does he answer all your phone calls like that? That's pretty much how he answers every one of my phone calls. Yeah, really busy, I can't talk. Well, I'm thinking, it's a Tuesday night, 7:30, what? When he goes, it's Mom and Dad in the car. What's going on? What are you doing? He goes, I'm out. I'm with Fiona. We're at, I'm thinking Tuesday night, 7:30. We're at ceramics class. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe I don't understand ceramics class. I've never been to ceramics class. Maybe in ceramics class, they make ceramics and then throw it off a roof and smash it in the parking lot. He would go to that ceramics class. I look over at Winnie. She's frozen for a second. She can't even respond. But she captures her thought process faster and she goes, ceramics class? How's that going? He goes, oh, it's really good. We're doing really good. I don't know how you do good at ceramics class, but he's now made it a competition and he's doing really good at it. We're having a lot of fun. But I gotta go. That was clue number one. That we were in uncharted territory. a couple months after that, he then is telling me a story about Fiona, and he's telling exactly what Will's talking about. He's talking about some harebrained idea, some ridiculous thing he's doing, and he's laughing, and he starts to tell me about Fiona's reaction, and he uses Fiona's voice to tell me. Oh, Phelan. And he said like it was a Fiona's voice. When he does that to me, but when she does, and I know it's from love, but when she does it, I sound like McGruff the crime dog, right? This was a perfect Fiona. And I thought to myself, you know, and he was doing it with love, like with laughter. And then Boston came, and he's got a job in Boston, and he's moving to Boston, and we're talking a lot, and we're talking about this and talking about that, and it comes up that he's going to move to Boston, Fiona's going to work in New York City, they'll have a long-distance relationship, but they've been talking about it, and maybe Fiona will take a job in Boston and go move to Boston too, and I'm doing the father thing. I'm doing like, that's interesting, right? This is his decision. This is not something a parent can weigh in on. This is just, he's got to hear himself talk and hear himself think these things through. And he said, Dad, I just got to tell you, you know, the thing about it, and I'm listening really closely, he goes, the thing about it is that, you know, Fiona, she just checks off all my boxes. That's romantic? I may not be Siriano de Bergerac, but that's checks off all my boxes? This is the love, and so I'm thinking, checks off all my boxes, and then I start thinking, he's got a lot of boxes. If I start thinking, and they're not easy boxes, right? I'm not sure if I check off 2 or 3 boxes. Right? Winnie's probably the best at 4 or 5. Checks off all my boxes. I know him, so I'm thinking, and I'm like, the next sentence is, Dad, the thing is that I trust her completely. And I thought about that. I thought, like, what does that mean? Does it mean that, you know, she's not going to run up a credit card, or does it mean that she'll be home when she, like, and I realized what it meant, knowing him, was that he trusts her completely with his heart and his soul. And you can clap. And I realized that he was completely in love with her and would always be, and then I had that kind of fear. I had watched all along. I had seen how she lit up like a butterfly around him. I had seen how she was so happy with him, how happy he was with her. I saw how she was able to almost, like everybody said, like almost wordlessly help him be a better person. But I still had that thought, now that his heart, I knew his heart was in her hands. We're in Maine, we're there for 4th of July, we're there for 4 or 5 days, we're skiing every day, water skiing every day. We're on the 4th of July, they have to go home at about 8 or 9 o'clock that night because Fiona's working the next morning in Boston. We've skied at 8 a.m., we've water skied at noon, we've water skied at 4, and like a jackass, I turned to him as they're all dressed, the bags are in the car. I said, you know, we could get one more pull. We could get just one more pull. He has a bathing suit on in about 13 seconds. Fiona, Ian, Phelan, me, Mary Rose. Was Hannah with us? There was somebody else on the boat. We go out, and of course, this is the last run. Is he skiing easy? No, he's skiing like it's the Olympic time trials. And he goes in, and it's happened to all of us, it's happened to Will, it's happened to me, it's happened to me. And when you crash at that speed, the water's like concrete, and it hurts a lot. And and I slow the boat down, and I can already hear the screaming and the yelling and the cursing. And I rotate the boat, and we start back, and it's over the top. And I've done it, all of us have done it, he's done it. It happens, right? When you're doing that, it's sometimes risky, but ultimately it's water. As we roll up, I put the boat in neutral, and Ian and I are at the back transom looking out, and he's really badly hurt. He's completely dislocated his shoulder. It's apparent beyond belief, and he's still cursing at the top of his lungs, and he's very badly hurt. And Ian and I look at each other for like that millisecond to lock our eyes, because the only 2 people who can drive the boat is me and Ian, and one's going in the water and one's staying with the boat, and we do this like wordless look for a half a second, And in that half a second, I hear a splash. And I look out, and she's fully dressed in the water, holding him up by the life preserver. I knew right then. And that's why that she loved him as much as he loves her. That's why we're all so happy. That's why this is such a fun party. That's why this is such a wonderful night, because it's so great to see two people so met. You are so lucky to have met. You are so lucky to have realized how lucky you are to have met. And we're so lucky to be here to share it today. Up tip.
Thank you so much, Joe, and thank you to everyone who gave a speech. One more time, big round of applause for all of our speakers tonight. If you hear that special someone, feel free to join them out on our dance floor.